What would you say if I suggested that your child doesn't always need to wrap up warm and dry, even when it's cold and wet outside? Now, before you panic, I'm not saying ignore common sense. I'm not saying never bring a coat. And I'm definitely not saying leave your child outside to prove a point. Of course, we bring layers. Of course, we pay attention to safety. But sometimes when children refuse the coat, the jumper, the gloves, there might actually be something worth noticing in that moment, because children don't always experience the world the way we do. And sometimes our instinct to protect them can accidentally override their experience of life. I was reminded of this recently when I thought about something that happened when my young person was little. We always used to go for walks, especially this time of year. And I remember one time we got out the car and they immediately marched straight towards the biggest puddle they could find. And as I watched them go deeper and deeper into it, I suddenly realized just how deep it was. And then too late, the wellies sank right down into the middle of the puddle and all the water started pouring inside of them. Now, immediately my mind jumped into problem solving mode. Oh, why didn't I pull the legs of the rain suit over the top of the wellies? And I don't think I brought spare socks, and those wellies aren't tall enough anyway. And then my brain started running through the entire to-do list waiting for me when we got home. Stripping the rain suit off at the door, putting the socks and trousers in the wash, washing kiddo, warming them up, finding new clothes, and then later cleaning the wellies out and brushing the mud off the car. I mean, I'm joking about that. I never actually had time to clean the car. But just as my mind was spiraling through all the logistics, a crow of delight cut through it all. And I looked over and my child was laughing and splashing and joyfully squelching in the puddle. And at that moment, the sun lit up their hair almost like it was highlighting the joy of the moment they were having. And as I looked at them, something inside of me softened because I remembered this was the experience I wanted them to have. Now, from the moment our children are born, we're constantly anticipating their needs, thinking, are they hungry? Are they too hot, too cold, too tired? And over time, that anticipation becomes almost instinctive. We get very good at looking ahead and solving problems before they happen. And that is a strength. But sometimes that instinct can get so strong that we forget to pause and notice what our child is actually experiencing right now. There's also a small quirk of the human mind where we tend to assume that other people experience the world the same way we do. So if we feel cold, we're very likely to check if our child is cold too. If we feel uncomfortable standing in the mud, we assume they will too. Test this the next time you're outside. Notice how quickly your own body sensations shape what you think your child needs. The children's bodies run warmer than ours often, especially when they're running and jumping and exploring. So what feels chilly to us can feel actually perfectly comfortable to them. And this leads to something really important. Children aren't responsible for holding the full picture. They don't have to think about laundry loads and illness next week or how long the cleanup will take. That's an adult's job. A child's job is so much simpler: to explore, to notice, to experience the world. Feeling the cold water of a puddle or squishing mud between their fingers, running until their cheeks are red. And to learn through experience what their body feels like in different situations. And most of us did that when we were children too. And if we're honest, many of our happiest childhood memories involve getting a bit muddy, a bit wet, or a bit messy. So when your child refuses the coat or jumps straight into the puddle, the real question might not be, why won't they listen? It might be, what's this like for them? And when we ask that question, the moment often changes. And it's not about stopping caring about safety. It's about responding to our child's experience, not just our own anticipation of the consequences. Children have an incredible ability to delight in the world, and sometimes our role as parents is simply to make space for that, even if it means a pair of wet socks and a muddy floor when we get back home. If you'd like to explore moments like this more deeply, I'm running a free 3-day workshop called Calm is a Skill at the end of March. Each session is just 30 minutes, and we'll practice interrupting those first rushes of thoughts and feelings that can sometimes get in the way of supporting our children's experience of the world. You can sign up using the link in the description. I'd love to see you there.